Stop chasing. Look, it's Marcel, aka Honey Bunny Sunny, and you know I'm on a mission to make you some money. Listen, today I have an incredible video for you. It's going to show you a way that you can explode your trading account by just recognizing two simple patterns. Okay, now before we get into the video, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Right, I hope that this video encourages you to go and hit the subscribe button. Right, of course I want to get my subscribers up, but also it will help you never to miss a video again. Also turn those notifications on to never miss a video again when I post it. I post every day, providing value in the stock market and life at large. Okay, so hit the subscribe button if this video is helpful. You don't have to do it a second earlier. For everybody else, let's try to get this video to 100 likes. All right, so like, comment, that helps you get into the algorithm for people who also need this video. Okay, don't be stingy. All right, let's jump right into it. All right, we have two patterns that I want to talk about today, and those two patterns are piercing pattern, right, and the other is an inverted hammer. But there's some specific things that I want to talk about the inverted hammer, because there's often things that get a little misconstrued about it, right? You know, people have learned single candlesticks at once, and then they try to couple that with the actual trading patterns in the market, and they wonder why it doesn't work. Well, the reason that it doesn't work is because the positioning of particular patterns matters. Okay, the positioning of particular patterns matter, and where they're located in a trend lets you know what they actually mean. Okay, so we can't always isolate candlesticks, right? We can't always isolate candlestick patterns, right? Solo candlesticks and candlestick patterns we can't always isolate. It really depends on where they're positioned on the chart. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the chart so I can just kind of give y'all some examples of, you know, what a piercing pattern is, and you know what an inverted hammer is, and what happens following that. If you all can understand this and grasp this, you can truly explode your accounts just simply by these two patterns. All right, so I got NVIDIA pulled up right here, and this is an example of a piercing pattern, right? So what is a piercing pattern? A piercing pattern is just simply a slight gap down, right, on an opening, and then it makes its way up and trades over 50% of the previous candle. So 50% on the daily here is right around where the VWAP is. So this one is already like slightly above that. So this would be considered a piercing pattern. Now, you know, the day is still going on, so this could come up a little higher, which will make it even better. It will improve the likelihood that tomorrow improves, or it can go, you know, super crazy today and then turn into an engulfing pattern. Both are high probability bullish patterns, right? This is also somewhat of a bull flag if you're looking at it, you know, from this perspective right here, right? So this is also somewhat of a bull flag. So this is a beautiful setup on NVIDIA, because you got a piercing pattern that could turn into a bullish engulfing. Either one works perfect. Either one, like I said, is super bullish. And then you also have this bull flag that's taking place. So I believe that we could break out of this and go right into this order block and possibly beyond. Okay, so this is a beautiful setup. And this is what a piercing pattern looks like. So whenever you see this, you absolutely want to take it. Now, the way that you take it, right, I'm not going to leave you hanging with entries. The way that you take it is to allow it to close this way. Some people are, well, like, how do you catch a move if it, you know, if it closes, then that takes you into the next day and the move may already be made, right? The way that you do that is you wait until like the last 5 minutes of the market, right? You wait until it's about, well, I'm on the West Coast, so I'm waiting until it's what is it, 1:30 here. So about 1 o'clock. So about 12:55 is what I'm looking at, right? 12:55. If this closes like this, it's a short entry for NVIDIA to ride that up to that next order block, right? Now there's 2 more days left in the week. So to be on the safe side for entry, what I would do is, if like I said, if it closes like this, I would swing it out 2 weeks. So I would swing it out to the 14th, just so that there's not drawdown, just in case there's like a crazy day or Trump says something crazy, right? We always got to start taking into consideration the market that we're in, the president that we have, right? It's like, certain setups don't always get blown up, but they can be slightly delayed because of politics. So, if there's something that you see, just give it like an extra week. And that's usually like a good buffer for you to prevent, a ton of drawdown. Okay. So that's the piercing pattern. Again, it's here, right here. It's when you see opening that is slightly below, but then it comes up and trades 50% into that previous candle. So that's the piercing pattern. All right, now we're going to go to the inverted hammer, and this is going to be extremely important for you guys to understand, right? So the first one I'm going to go to is Meta, right? So Meta has the inverted hammer, and luckily it also shows us exactly what happens. So we're not talking about what can happen tomorrow like in Nvidia. We're actually seeing it actually happen. I did take this trade. I also called it on my watch list, but as you can see, Meta got the inverted hammer, right? So a lot of times people just assume that inverted hammer means down, right? Because they see the downward pressure. Whenever you see a wick on the top of a candle that's long, people just like, oh, that's selling pressure. However, when you see that at the end of a down move, what that represents is exhaustion. Because what's happening is it was testing a high, right? It was testing a high at the end of the up move, meaning that there were a ton of sellers in, but maybe they just got beat out at the last second, right? Maybe the second half of the day they got beat out, but that signifies that there is a ton of buyers coming into the market. Also, confluence, right? We need multiple reasons. It's right here at the order block. So not only did we get the inverted hammer, but we got the inverted hammer right at an order block, which I told you in my order block video. Go watch it if you haven't. It's a couple days ago, I think, but just go find the video on order blocks. You will thank me later, right? The inverted hammer right at the order block. This is where institutions sit. So what happens today? Meta pumps 2%, right? And it's not done. If we can close above this previous candle high right here with the top of that wick, then Meta could have another, run for a few days and even possibly start to fill this gap, right? So Meta is also a beautiful setup if this closes bullish on the day. Again, we already are in this trade, called it in the group, called it on my watch list because of the inverted hammer. Okay, I'll give you another example, right? Because what's one example? What's one example? You know what I mean? Like, you could do it once, do it again. Okay, here we go. Here we go. In phase. What's that right there? Inverted hammer, right? Inverted hammers are such powerful reversal signals. Okay, always remember that it does not continue down when it's at the end of a down move. If this inverted hammer were up here, then that would mean, okay, the stock is getting ready to fall. But because the stock has fallen already and we got the inverted hammer at the end, that's buying pressure. And this is what happens. Up 8% on the day in phase. That's also something that I called on my watch list. It's also a leap call that I gave specifics for in the Prosperity Collective. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. Listen, y'all, it's extremely important just to understand a few simple things, and that's entries, and that's when a stock is changing directions, right? When a stock is changing directions, then knowing the entry is really all you need to know in trading. I'm not saying that it's nothing else to learn or consider, right? Because there are things that you need to watch out for that could make certain setups not work. But if you're looking for a simplistic way to approach the market, if you just have a little patience and allow, patterns like these to form, then you will absolutely make money. Inverted hammer, piercing pattern. If you're a new trader, you don't need to know more than a couple of patterns anyway. You learn more with time, right? That comes with you just kind of like stacking things on top of each other. But if you're a new trader, inverted hammer, piercing pattern, watch for that and then take your entry. Again, on the piercing pattern, just for clarity, if you're trying to swing it, you want to make sure that you're getting in 5 minutes before the market closes, because nothing's really going to change much between 5 minutes. Like a daily candle that became a piercing pattern it's very, very, very unlikely that in the last 5 minutes it's going to change from being a piercing pattern. Something catastrophic would have to happen for that to be the case. So if nothing catastrophic happens, which you would immediately know because you would see a crazy fall or a crazy pump, then you could enter 5 minutes before and you watch your profits grow the next day. Again, since we're on Wednesday, this is a rule of thumb for me. If we're 2 days to expiration, I like to swing things for an extra week, just because in this market, you just don't know, right? Anything can be said. Listen, I hope this video was helpful. If you're looking for a trading home, right? I'm the co-founder of the Prosperity Collective, me and my boy Zay, Isaiah D. Fowler on YouTube. Go check him out as well. All right. The Prosperity Collective is the place to be, right? We have so many, testimonials of people changing their lives. We got somebody that actually just had their last day of work today, or I think, no, tomorrow's their last day of work, quitting their job because of the things that they learned in the Prosperity Collective. We got people that started, down and are in profit now by thousands. We got people that started with 1,000 and making their way to 10,000, almost 10x in their account under our tutelage. All right, I'm not here to toot our horn, but I'm here to let you know that there is a family that's waiting for you to help you along the way. I know when I started, I took a lot of losses and didn't have that close-knit family to help out. Now, I know there's a lot of other trading groups out there that are doing some amazing things. I never hate on anyone, but if you are looking for something that has a little bit more of a boutique style, something that's more of a family and communal style that suits your learning abilities a little bit better, the Prosperity Collective is the way. Right? You got profitable traders like myself and Zay. You got Best B in there moderating, right? And we are giving y'all like game on top of game on top of game every single day consistently, and answering all your questions. All right. So if that sounds like something that, is suitable for you, that's something that works for you, something that you need based on your learning style, hit the link in the description below. Remember, invest smart, live free. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.